It's week 33 on 5225, and it's on time this time. Turns out all I needed were some tasty waves, a cool buzz, and I'm fine. Hey, bud, let's party. Hello, and welcome to 5225, 52 Weeks of Loving Movies. It is week 33, and we are talking about Amy Heckerling. It is a director spotlight. Now, because the last episode was so late, I didn't have a lot of time to watch movies, so I did only end up watching two, but the dynamic between the two is very interesting. So let's get on into the first one, which was Fast Times at Ridgemont High from 1982, which was her first feature film. Uh, Now, I have seen this movie a lot of times. It's a coming of age classic, one that I hold very very dear. Um, it's interesting because as with many coming of age things, it kind of changes. My thoughts on these things change as I grow up because I see things from different perspectives, which I think is a mark of a truly great film. Is as you learn and grow, your perspective can change. It can kind of change how you feel about the movie. That's not to say that all great films must adapt with you or anything like that, because there are great films that are a moment in their time. But what I love is that some movies, especially coming of age movies, as an adult, I can look back on and go, "Wow, I always loved that," but now I see it from this different perspective, and it kind of changes. The really interesting thing about Fast Times at Ridgemont High is that it feels as true today as it did in 1982. That's not to say that the culture of high school hasn't changed or has stayed the same, but kids have always dealt with the same thoughts and feelings and struggles and triumphs as they deal with today. And it's very interesting. This Fast Times at Ridgemont High remains one of the most true examples of what it is to be a teenager, and the fact that a teenager today can watch it, and even though the culture has changed, a lot of what they see today is still very 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 true and real. And one of the reasons it feels so true and real is because it's based on a book by Cameron Crowe. Cameron Crowe, before he became a filmmaker, was a journalist. You may see one of his other films, which he wrote and directed, is based on his time as a teenager writing for Rolling Stone. Uh, this one is kind of the opposite of that. This is as an adult, he went kind of undercover in a high school and wrote the book Fast Times at Ridgemont High, based on that experience. And that's, I think, why it holds so true. But also, Amy Heckerling's attention to what kids are like, what kids do, her attention to the authenticity of the teenagers in this movie and the characters in this movie. I think a lot of it does. A lot of the credit does go to Cameron Crowe, but I think Amy Heckerling has an incredible attention to what it is to be a teenager in the way that she directs this and the visuals in this film. Now, the film does feel a little dated, which is to be expected, a film from 1982, but I'd say that it's not aggressively dated. In fact, I would posit that this is one of the rare 1980s films that mostly holds up by today's standards. There are a few things you can throw out, but for the most part, it feels progressive and it feels true and it feels real to how we kind of feel today. If and I've heard people say that it's too dated and that it's cringy now, but I invite anybody who does feel that way to please let me know in the comments what you saw in it. Maybe I'm blinded by it because I've been watching it. Well, I've been watching this movie for far longer than I've than than the culture of today's world has been in my brain. So I may be seeing it from very different glasses, but it just still feels very true and real and holds up by the standards of 2025. Because the times change, but the truth of this film endures. One of the really fun things about this movie is going through and seeing the different people, stars who are now stars, or have gone through their stardom and are now, not quite in the public eye, but have become very, very famous people. Nicolas Cage is in this very briefly. I don't believe he has any lines, and if he does, they're just like background dialogue, not really anything about the plot. He was called Nicola Coppola back then. Forrest Whitaker is in this. Judge Reinhold, which is someone that I grew up really enjoying, and it's kind of a shame we don't see him so much anymore, unless he's canceled. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. You did not hear it here first. I don't know anything. Um, Sean Penn, Oscar award winning Sean Penn playing Spicoli, one of the great stoners in movie history. Phoebe Cates, who is another one I grew up just loving, and kind of feel like it's a shame that she's not really in the public eye anymore, but she had a really good run. She had some really great films under her belt, and I kind of grew up kind of in love with Phoebe Cates. Eric Stoltz is also it's an early film role for him as well. He was originally Marty McFly. Before they recast him with Michael J. Fox. One of the interesting things, it's not probably going to be interesting to any of you. I've been watching ER recently, rewatching, because I used to watch it with my mom when I was younger, and back when it first started, and I just kind of needed it as a show to which I could do my crossword puzzles. I'm a very old person, and I kind of ended up getting hooked, kind of going watching it, and being getting drawn back into these memories I have watching it with my mom when I was real young, and things I didn't really understand back then I understand now, and so it kind of puts it in a new perspective, and now I'm kind of hooked on ER again. But Anthony Edwards, who is kind of the main star of ER, at least for those first few years. He's also Goose in Top Gun. Is in Fast Times. It's one of his early roles as well. And I was like, oh hey, I've been watching him all week. That's so cool. But see, I told you it wasn't going to be interesting to any of you, just to me. But I don't regret saying it. But I'm going to move on from Fast Times at Ridgemont High on to the next movie, which we went from her first movie, to Amy Heckerling's first movie, to her last movie, at least her most recent film. She's still around. She just hasn't made it one since 2012, and that is Vamps. Okay, so some interesting things about this one. Number one, the last film she has made, at least so far. And the other one was her first film that she had made. This one also features a bunch of actors from some of her past movies, including from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Brian Backer, who plays Mark Ratner, one of the main characters in Fast Times, but also Taylor Negron, who plays in Fast Times. He plays the pizza delivery guy who brings the pizza to Spicoli in Mr. Hand's class. And in Vamps, I was I was so excited when they answer the door to a pizza guy, and it's Taylor Negron, and he's wearing a red shirt that says Mr. Pizza Guy, and his red shirt in Fast Times said Pizza Guy or Mr. Pizza Guy. I'm not sure which one. But I was like, oh, that's such a cool little Easter egg. That's so cool. Um, but it also has a lot of really great actors that I was really excited to see in this film because I'll tell you this. Let me just start. Well, not start, but let me just tell you this. Number one, as I've said many times on this show, I every week I have to watch at least one movie that I haven't seen from the theme, and this was literally the only movie that directed by Amy Heckerling that I have not seen. So I had to watch it. Number two, it features Alicia Silverstone, who Amy Heckerling directed in Clueless, which I didn't watch that one for this one because I've already covered that on 5225 because it's based on Emma during my movies based on classic literature. Um, but Elise Silverstone from Clueless, Wallace Shawn from Clueless. Uh, it also features Kristen Ritter, who I really love, Dan Stevens, Richard Lewis, who I have been a fan of since I was a kid, probably much earlier than I would have been should have been able to appreciate his work. But I really love Richard Lewis, and seeing him in this movie made my heart very happy. Justin Kirk from Weeds. He was one of my favorite characters on that show. Malcolm McDowell, Sigourney Weaver, Mary Lou Henner in a very small role, and Kristen Johnson. It was just a lot of people Todd Barry. I just looked over at the list here. Todd Barry was in it, who's a very funny comedian. It's just a bunch of people that I just really love, and I didn't expect most of them to be in it because I hadn't really heard of this movie. I didn't know anything about it. I knew that she had directed it. That was really it. And so when I get in there and I'm like, oh, she's back with Lisa Silverstone, and then I'm seeing all these characters come up. Now, the movie itself, it's not good. It's not great. I didn't find a whole lot of cinematic value in this film, but it was cute and campy, very campy, which I know some of my viewers out there do enjoy a good camp film. Uh, I also have a show on this channel, Camp Film Camp. You should go check that out. And it most of all, above the cuteness and the campiness and the funniness, it just feels good to watch. I had a good time watching it. It definitely was a feel good movie for me. It's one that, even though I don't think it's like a great film or even maybe even a good film, it's a film that I feel like I will go back and watch and just feel good while watching it, which is nice. Because sometimes you love sometimes you love a good gourmet dinner, sometimes you love fast food, and sometimes you just want that comfort food that reminds you of good times. And that's just kind of how this movie felt to me. It does feel like, despite how it'll never be spoken in the same breath as Fast Times or Clueless, it does feel like a fitting final bow for Amy Heckerling, and maybe she'll make more movies. I've heard that she has another Look Who's Talking movie in the works, which I grew up watching those. So I'd definitely be in the theater if that one does come out. But it does feel like a good way to round out her career, which has highs and it has lows. And her specialty, and this might be why I gravitate to her films so well, her specialty seems to be coming of age, because even movies about adults feel like coming of age movies as well. Um, and Fast Times, Clueless, those are definitely coming of age. Loser is about young adults, but it's definitely a coming of age movie. The Look Who's Talking movies are about kids, uh, but also the adults who are kind of growing up as their kids are. It her specialty seems to be that, and as a lover of coming of age movies, that really sits well with me, which is probably why enjoy the work of Amy Heckerling so much, and probably why I enjoy Vamps so much. Uh, I would say that if you're into a cute, feel good, campy movie, give Vamps a shot. It's it's not good, but it's kind of great. Which leads us to, because there are only two, to the preview of next week, and who the next week's a doozy. It's my siblings' favorite movies, and in this case, it's going to be my sister's favorite movies because she is my one birth sibling. I have some surrogate siblings who I consider like siblings, but she's my one, you know, sibling, like legal sibling. It's her birthday on August 30th, which is the day that that review is going to, or that video is going to come out. She passed away a few years ago from leukemia, complications from leukemia. And I'll talk about her more during that episode. It's going to be maybe a little bit hard for me to get through. It may be hard to listen to. They may all my reviews may have been hard to listen to, but this one may be particularly hard to listen to. But I encourage you to come hear about the just the baddest bitch I know, the funniest, baddest, coolest person that I've ever met. And so I invite you next week to hear about some of Lisa's favorite movies. Talk to me in the comments. What are some of your siblings' favorite movies, if you have siblings? If you don't have siblings, tell me. Go find someone, make them your sibling, and ask them their favorite movie, and then tell me in the comments. Or tell me your best friend's favorite movies, if that is easier. What are some movies by Amy Heckerling you like? Do you gravitate toward her movies, and do you feel like maybe the coming of age aspect is part of that? Well, talk to me in the comments. Thanks.